by the members of the society, so they'd be answerable to the membership as a whole.
Okay, so they are self-regulating.
When they're self-regulating to a certain degree, where there's also lay people on the committees, and then matters are referred to a disciplinary tribunal and to the President of the High Court. I mean, I suggest you read the Act, quite frankly, or you go onto our website and you can find out about all the society on the website.
Okay, and where is the Act available to download?
It'd be on government publications.
On government publications.
But if you go into the Law Society website, you get an enormous amount of information, all right?
Okay, and tell me, government publications, is that www.governmentpublications.ie?
I would imagine so, yeah.
Okay, wow, okay. So, and can I ask you what your own name?
My name is Rosemary Fallon.
Rosemary. You've been very helpful, Rosemary. Tell me one more thing. You're in the regulation office. What does that mean?
The regulation department of the Law Society.
Which means?
It's that regulates the profession.
So,
it deals with matters in relation to regulation.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're a solicitor, are you?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. So you're in the regulation department of the Law Society, but the Law Society is a regulating body.
That's right.
So what other departments are there other than your own?
There's policy, there's finance, there's education, and I think that's it.
And all of those deal with regulating policy, regulating finance and regulating education, is it?
No, the regulation department deals with the regulation of the profession.
Right. And the other departments do what then?
When there's the finance department that deals with the finances of the society.
Right. And
then there's the policy department which deals with policy issues.
Policy issues.
Representational and policy.
Policy in relation to law?
Policy in relation to the operation of the society.
Okay.
I mean, I suggest you look at the website where you get all of this information, quite frankly, much better than what I'm giving it to you.
You don't want to bother talking to me, do you not?
No, it's not that. I just think you get more information and you'll get it in the format, in the correct format.
Well, I'm kind of more... Yeah, you see, the difference there is that, you know, there's plenty of time and thinking goes into preparing the information on a website. I'm always more curious to know that the people I'm talking to don't really know how to answer some of the questions I'm asking. I'm curious as to the fact that you work in the regulation department, but you have no idea who your counsel is answerable to. So you're working for an organisation that pays you. It's a private organisation because it's not run by the government, it's not owned by the government, it's not managed by the government. This organisation pay you your salary, yet you don't even know who they're answerable to.
I told you they were answerable to the profession.
But what the hell does that mean? Like, what do you mean the profession? Like, they're answerable to the profession. Does the profession has a voice? Is the profession an entity that I can go and shake its hand and sit and talk with it? Is it a living soul? The profession is just a body of people who come together and say, we are the profession. And that's to suggest that there is an exclusion of those who are not in the profession simply because they're not a member of the Law Society. Like, how does a solicitor in Ireland practice? He gets a certificate of practice, correct?
He gets a practicing certificate.
Yeah, and that comes through the Law Society, and there's nowhere else he can get that. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So the Law Society is a governing body as well as a regulating body.
Precisely.
Okay, so it governs law. Okay, so who gives the Law Society its jurisdiction to do that?
The Act, the Solicitors Act.
And, okay, so the government have given the Law Society the power to do what it does.
Precisely.
So is there a conflict of interest that the Law Society and the government are in cahoots, that they need each other?
Can't comment on that.
Why can't you comment on that?
Because I'm not going to.
But why don't you comment on that, or why can't you, or why won't you? What did I just say that caused you concern and worry and anxiety that you went quiet? Is it true that the people of this country have a right to go to a solicitor to get independent advice and support?
Absolutely.
So how can it be independent, for example, in a situation where the individual is going against the state and the solicitor representing the individual is coming from a society that is supported and endorsed and given acts to do its business by the state?
If you want to take that up with the Department of Justice...
Well, I'm actually taking it up with the regulation body of the Law Society.
Then if you want to do so, I suggest you do so in writing.
Why? Is a conversation on the telephone no good?
dealt with in writing by the society as the society.
Okay, so this is one of the queries that's not most. So I'm just curious as to Rosemary Fallon, can you just remind me why you didn't answer the question in relation to the acts that give the Law Society the power to do what it does? Does it have really any power?
It has the power conferred on it by the Solicitors Act.
Okay, can you can just confirm for me now, you put me on loudspeaker, Rosemary, you have?
That's correct.
Can you please identify the other parties in the room?
Tracy Banish is in the room.
And Tracy's position is?
She works in the regulation department.
Is she senior to you in the regulation department, Rosemary?
No, she's not.
She's junior to you?
That's correct.
Okay, and can you explain why you want Tracy on this conversation and why you didn't advise me that she was on this conversation?
I didn't think it was necessary to advise you. She came into my office.
Does the Law Society do a lot of things based on its own understanding or opinion that it doesn't think it's necessary?
Can't comment.
You can't comment or you won't comment?
I said I'm not going to comment on something that I'm not quite clear what you're getting at.
But why do you need to be clear on what I'm getting at? Why can't you just answer the question you've been asked?
What question am I being asked?
The question you've been asked is, let's go right back to the very beginning here, who is the Council of the Law Society answerable to?
The Council of the Law Society is elected by its members.
Yes.
So I presume it's answerable to its members.
Okay.
That's provided for under the Act.
And we have
I'm going to discontinue this conversation.
And we have asserted that
I'm going to refer you to our website.
Okay, so we have asserted that the job of the Law Society is to regulate and to govern the legal issues of solicitors and barristers in Ireland.
Not barristers.
Or just solicitors.
Just
and
solicitors.
who are the barristers answerable to?
The Bar Council.
And is the Bar Council, just explain to me, does Ireland have a bar or is that the Queen's Bar?
It's called the Bar Council and they're in King's Inns and in the Law Library.
Okay, and is that, so when a barrister takes an oath to the bar, is he taking an oath to the Queen?
No.
He's not. Who's he taking the oath to, or she?
I don't know, you could inquire from King's Inns.
I could inquire in King's Inn.
We don't regulate, we don't have anything to do with the bar.
So that's an inquiry that I can certainly phone and say Rosemary Fallon, the Law Society, sent me to you.
You can if you wish.
Okay, that's very good. So who in particular would you...
I think all of your other queries are answerable from the website, alright?
Okay. No, I actually, I don't believe so, but that's okay. We'll leave it there. And just for the record, Rosemary, to let you know, this telephone conversation has been recorded. Thank you.
Thank you.